Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the So She Slay Show. I'm Heather.
I'm Chauncey, and today we have the amazing opportunity to hang out with our actual dear friends that we both love and respect. Her name is Jazmine Duke, and she is a boss woman, enterprise, everything that we love. Please, Jazmine, tell everyone about who you are as a person.
First off, thank you so much for having me. So I've been hanging out with these two for several years now. We met, it has to be at least 5 years ago, I think now, with my first company, which was FemCon, a feminist web publication. And then I now have another company, JD Bath Co., which is a organic bath and skincare line for sensitive skin. And then I also am in like the infancy of launching my first manufacturing company.
That's so amazing. Okay, so we have known Jazz for a really long time, and it's awesome to see just the journey and how you've evolved. And you started this bath kind of skincare line. Let's talk about JD Backup.
Yes.
So what even brought that about? Okay.
Please tell us everything.
I don't know very many people that are just dedicated to like baths and soaking and all this kind of stuff. So
and tell us. By the way, her bath company it feels good in all parts of my body. It feels luscious. It's amazing. It's like my favorite little self-care ritual I do every Sunday. So please tell us more.
We call that hashtag vagina friendly luxury. The bath company really started out of me having chronic yeast infections. I think way back when I had met you guys, I had been suffering from chronic yeast infections for like 2 years. And I was like going to doctor, I'm seeing OBGYNs, like I'm doing all the things they tell you to go do, but nobody is giving me any information. Nobody is giving me anything. Like everybody's just taking things out of my life. So you see one OBGYN, they're like, oh, switch your brand of condoms. And then I'm like, no, this doesn't seem to be related to like around condoms. And you see another OBGYN and they're like, oh, there's probably just nothing you can do. This is just how it is. And I'm like, I don't think a couple yeast infections a month sounds like this is just how it is, right? Oh. So as I'm going through this tour of doctors, which is also incredibly expensive, seeing an OBGYN multiple times like that is considered a luxury.
So, I don't know what's so luxurious about
it. Wasn't great for me.
It's not fun.
Seeing all these doctors and nobody is helping me. And I think beyond that, I was really irritated with just the attitudes that I got. I got a lot of like, chin up buttercup type of advice about how this is just what it meant to be, a woman. And I was just going to have to deal with it. And I was like, something is wrong and you guys are not like actually helping me solve this problem. Well, one OBGYN said to me, I bet it's how many baths you take. You probably just can't take baths. And I was so pissed off that like she told me that I went on this like huge quest. I was like, I'm gonna make a bath product that does not piss your vagina off. Like she don't know me. Like wait till I just really went on this like anger fueled like quest because I was like, I am not going to cut bags out of my life. Like this doesn't make any sense. So, I think it took me about a year to really create a formulation of a bath soak that I loved, that really treated my skin well, that treated my vagina well, that really made me feel like when I got out of the tub, I was better than when I had gotten in. And by the time I got there, well, one, I had also learned that I got chronic yeast infections from two things. One, around my period. So your period disrupts your pH balance. I cannot use tampons. It doesn't matter what the tampon's made of. It doesn't matter if it was made of the hair of Jesus. I cannot put a tampon in my body, like period. That doesn't work for me. Not a single OBGYN told me that, by the way. I learned it at happy hour with some of our other girlfriends who own a period disc company.
They're like, let me tell you about tampons.
Yeah. And the other thing is processed sugar. My body has a very harsh reaction to processed sugar, that white granulated sugar. So I actually haven't eaten that in years.
Oh my goodness. That's why you're so
fit. So those
too.
Were sort of, thank you for that.
You're so fit.
But those two things were really the contributing factor. But either way, like this spawned me into this like world of women's health. And I realized how left behind women are in research. We're
Yes.
marketed to like crazy, but nothing is really made for us. Bath products, especially, if you look at the ingredients that are in a bath soap, none of that stuff should be anywhere near your vagina. The
Yes.
glitter, the dyes, the alcohol-based perfume. I mean, none of that stuff should be anywhere near your vagina. And so I think then I started getting disgusted, like that people were using these other products. And I just sort of was like, okay, I'm gonna launch a company. And JD Bath Co was born, I think probably about 6 months after that.
Honestly, like I have the same issues you had with like, downstairs problems, I call it. And honestly, I love a self-care Sunday and I love bath bombs, but before your product came in my life, like bath bombs and me were not the best of friends. I'll come out itchy down there. My skin will just be itchy. Like even like I will look like a raisin. Okay. Like I would look a California raisin. It was not cute. And then I started using your bath products and I was able to take baths and not have any like other issues afterwards. So like I would have to be like, oh, it's free. Everything is free down there. It's clean, it's nice, it's beautiful again. No itchiness. But yeah, like your bath products take out the toxin stuff that we are as women are given to because people don't make products for us. They make products for the masses and not think about individual health care for each woman, which is great that you do that because we realize that our body is full of toxins that people try to give us without taking care of like, the clean aspect of like non-toxic materials. Which so thank you on the behalf of me and my downstairs area. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Thank you.
I'm well loved by vaginas all over.
Thank you. Worldwide, girl. Enterprise.
I guess I just never even, I'm the normal person where I didn't even think about like all the shit that literally I'm soaking in and all the stuff that's not only being absorbed by my skin, but like in the insides of me too. Cause like that water don't just like stay there. Like that shit goes in too. I mean,
Mhm.
so it just really makes me think about it because I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have to like really read the backs of my products now. Like, yeah, I'm a little disturbed, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little thrown right now. So not only did you start this company, but it's kind of morphed. Like you have soaps, you have bath bombs, you have soaps, now you have oils. Okay, talk about your products because they're like,
Please.
a bath bomb.
Yeah, well, so we're 3 years now. April 27th was our 3rd year anniversary, which is like part of me feels like I should like have a retirement right now, but then also part of me feels like how are we at 3 years already? So yeah, we really started with like the soak line. And I brought some samples so I could show you. So when we started Bomb AF, we started like this.
Yes.
And so the reason why we do this instead of the ball is because there's no standard tub size in the US. And so this allows you to actually pick and choose how much of that is going to go into the tub with you. So you could either do 2 baths with 1 pack, or you could do a whole bath. We also put, if you notice, it's in an organic cotton bag. Because we're not using any dyes or alcohol-based perfumes, this is really all oils and like baking soda, citric acid, which is foundation to all bath bombs. And then there's organic flower petals in here. We do it in the little cotton bag because that way you can keep everything tucked in here. You drop it in the bath, and then when you're done, you just take this out and it keeps everything secure. You can also wash and reuse this bag.
I do that.
So yeah, I do too. I have
It's
like
my jewelry.
my little ones that I like lay out and let them dry. Now this year we've actually retired this. I have a real thing about being a sustainable brand. I think how we treat the earth is very important. And so we've actually moved on to this packaging. And so all of our products are now coming in glass packaging. And the reason for that is because it's a sustainable method for bath soap. And bath soap specifically has to be kept airtight. Otherwise, you're going to lose your freshness. So like, let's say I like left this cap off and left this sitting on my bathroom counter for like a couple days, and then I go to take another bath. I'm not gonna have any fizz. Like all my freshness is gone. So that's why like this type of a container is so nice for this because it's gonna keep your formula nice longer. And then when you're done with that, you can actually ship that back to us. We cover the cost of shipping and you get an in-store credit to keep shopping with us because we're doing essentially a bottle exchange on all of our glass bottles. That way we can really just keep that sustainability moving. We also find that a lot of our customers either reuse these like for the bath soak or they reuse it for like other stuff. They're nice bottles.
I love that. I love how you're so health conscious, especially right now. We need that. Ooh, my favorite product.
So the oils come in glass as well, of course, same deal on the recycling. Funny story about the rose oil. I actually started making this as a Valentine's Day, like short run promotion. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna make like a sexy rose oil for like massages for Valentine's Day. And then I was like using it on my skin. I was like, this shit is delicious. I was like using it like all the time. And then it sold out. And then people were like, no, I just need that oil. And then I was like, okay, we're just going to bring it back and have it be full time. The amazing thing about this rose oil is it has so many uses that you can really get your money's worth out of it. And I think now we have so many products that have like one use. Like, oh, this is a cream for like your elbow right here. Like that is a lot of money to keep up with. This oil I put on my whole body when I get out of the shower and let myself dry. That's how I'm not ashy. I put this on my face in the morning if I'm not going to go outside. You have to be careful with oil outside because of the sun. And then I also use it after I wash my face at night. So this is really something you can also put it in your hair. I have women who buy it to put it between their braids. I have a huge amount of men actually who buy this big pump one and they use it as just moisturizer. Black men love this oil. Okay. I also heard some people use it as lube, but like you did not hear that from
me. I did not hear that from you. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm willing to figure out how to try it. But I love that. But no, like my dad, you gave us a sample of that a while ago. And then my dad used it for his beard. And he looked, my dad is like, he can get ashy. So he looked great with it. So thank you on the behalf of my mom, because he looks a lot better with like a little shine to his face.
Yeah. My dad, so we also have a beard oil. And my dad is like an addict. He actually thought it was from Aveda.
Like, no father. No,
I'm serious. Like my stepmom just slipped it into like his bathroom and he started using it and he ran out and he's like, I need some more of that Aveda oil. And she was like, that's not Aveda, that's your daughter's brand. And he's like, that really nice professional oil in the bathroom is Jazmine's. Funny story, Jill. But it was mine. I was like,
excuse you, Dad. Excuse you, sir. Like I could do this too. I love that.
Oh my gosh. So that kind of brings me to this next question. You started out with just the bath bombs and you kind of like morphed into everything more, but now there's this big unveiling that's happening where we're starting to bring in manufacturing. And I believe you are the only female Black owned maybe manufacturing company in the South.
So that's a great question. If you would have told me like 5 years ago, you're going to launch like a bath care company and then you're going to launch lines of skincare and then you're going to build a manufacturer, I would have told you to get out of my office because that is too much shit for one person to do. But the thing that I've learned in having JD Bath Co. and trying to find a manufacturer to outsource to is that I'm unimpressed with literally every manufacturer I've met.
Wow.
The standards in which they run things, the quality, the ingredient standards. I mean, even if we just take something like the word organic, like all organic is not made the same. And there is a lot of cutting corners on how products are made and like the rigidity that people stick to a standard. And so I got to this point where I was like, I'm going to have to manufacture this myself if I want the quality that I'm looking for.
You're such a go-getter, and I love that. So
that's the answer.
Yeah, I love how you said this is the answer for everything.
No one's going to do it the way you want it to do it. So you're like, screw it, I'm going to do it myself.
So
my CFO is always like, please, there's not one. We can find one manufacturer. There wasn't one.
No.
maybe just one that you liked 80% of. I was like, I swear to God, I'm never working with any of those. Like, this is not for me. Like, I was like, it's going to take longer, but we're going to build our own manufacturer. And she's just like, okay.
So you were legit the first, let me make sure I have this correct, the first Black owned woman to own your manufacturing office in the South. Am I correct on that?
I think so. So we're still like fact checking. So what I'm pretty sure I know is that I am the only Black female owned automated skincare manufacturer in the United States.
Wow.
That's a big ass title.
That's a big, like you said, oh, I said, wait, what? Like you just have this title, and like, how does that feel, especially as a Black woman in like this space? How do you feel? Because like when you first told us that, like I remember Heather and I's mouth was like, wait, what? Like I almost almost died.
I didn't know when we started. I really didn't know. I just know it had to be done. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I think, this is probably like the bad answer. I probably should make like a fluff piece answer, but
give us the real
it doesn't feel like anything yet.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to be done that I think it's hard. Like I really haven't hit my success metrics yet. So I think I think it's good to open doors. And I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy like to be the trailblazer, but like I haven't like hit that point yet where I'm like cheersing myself, but one thing I will say, so I think you guys have been with me for a long time, but being Black and being a beneficial member of the Black community is incredibly important to me.
Yes.
I have a very like heart for serving women in general, and especially in Black women. So I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the heart of a Black community. My business is Black owned. Every member of my staff is female and Black.
Oh. I love that. I love that because we need more spaces like that. Like as a Black woman, like, honestly, like as your friend, and like we started a Instagram friends, but like you're like a friend, like a sister to us now, and like to hear that, especially as a Black woman, it just makes me like, it literally brings like tears to my eyes, because like that's something that you don't hear, especially like you're not like in your 90-year-old doing this, like you're still young and vibrant, and like just to see like I can aspire to be that, and other young women can aspire to be that. Like you don't have to be like 70 years old starting your company or doing this for like decades. Like you're still like, it's just amazing, honestly. Thank you, because we need more women like you, especially in the Black community for women. Because like I want my kids to grow up and like, oh, well, Jazz did that, or like so and so. Like I want that, because it's like I didn't have that growing up. I just had Oprah, and like like I didn't have like I had Mother O.
Oh, you have like one person to aspire to.
Yeah,
like,
and I want more women like that. So like, just know what you're doing, especially for like organic stuff. Because when you think of organic, you don't think about Black women all the time, not like you used to. Like now you're like, okay, we have like Honey Pot, we have this stuff now, but we
Black
need more
women
Black
in
women.
luxury needs to be a thing.
We touched on a little bit with your manufacturing journey and your lack of satisfaction with their practices, and we use and we see the word organic a lot. And I mean, how can we really tell what really is organic? And what should we be looking out for in as far as products that are labeled organic, but stuff we really shouldn't be using?
I think so. A couple things. There's just a lack of oversight, especially in the US.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, I know. Because the US does such a good job on regulatory practices that aren't money driven. So interesting.
Such a plot twist that you just gave us. That's so amazing.
I know. But the thing that I look for, actually, I'm not necessarily as pressed about the organic piece. There are certain things that I'm a stickler for organic on. So like with the oils, my preference is always USDA organic. That is going to be restricted to the United States though. So that's something to keep in mind, that just because somebody sourced something from Turkey or from, whatever, doesn't mean that it's not of great quality. They have different regulatory practices than we do in different designations. But the things that I actually look for and that I tell people to look for with their skin, especially if you're getting rashes, irritation, eczema, psoriasis, like stuff like so. I have eczema, I have psoriasis, and I have adult acne. And my skin is actually crazy clear.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna ask. I was like, what do you think?
That's like
Yeah.
Like I was gonna ask you
the
after
product,
this.
the product. And actually, this blue oil with blue tansy is one of my like secret weapons. This like I use this a lot at night. This blue tansy is really good for cell regeneration and helping that collagen in your skin. The other thing it does is it'll knock out that hormonal acne. So I get a lot of that acne down here. Those
Yes.
lumps. This will help with that.
Okay, 'cause I was gonna ask
I
you.
use this oil religiously. Like I got really sunburnt in Colombia. This is also really good for skin balancing. So when I got burnt in Colombia, I came back and I was like just so like was like lathering myself down with this oil every day and I never peeled.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, back to the organic. So here are the couple ingredients that I always look for. Red dye is in almost every skincare product now, like, which is so disheartening because a lot of people, especially people of color, it's like the lactose intolerant thing, right? It's like more people of color have like lactose intolerant issues. More people of color have harsh reactions to the red dye. So I always look for that. If it's in anything, I will not put it on my skin. 2, anything alcohol based. Because here's what's happening. Let's say you buy like an oil or like a lotion and then it has an alcohol-based perfume in it. Well, what does alcohol and oil do? Well, one is going to get rid of the other, right? So you're just going to end up drier. So if your lotion has an alcohol-based perfume in it, how is that working? It's not. Or it's in the tub with you and you're like, why does my skin feel terrible? Wow. Or even worse, people are using Summer's Eve and that has alcohol-based perfume in it. I'm like, would you ever take a cotton swab of alcohol and rub it on your vagina? No, you would not. Like, please don't. Like, don't. Yeah. So those are the 2 things that I always look for when I am like looking at product. And then the other thing you could always do is companies can label something organic, even though it's not every piece in it organic.
Really?
So if you feel sketchy about something, read the ingredients.
That's so interesting. I did not know that. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay. Well, okay, let's look a plot twist once again.
And anything that says all natural on it is a lie. Like nothing is all, unless you pulled it out of the ground, you're like, I promise you it's not. Like anytime somebody says all natural on a product, I'm immediately like, that sounds like a lie. Call bullshit. Give me the ingredient listing.
Let me look through this here.
So next year we're going to launch, we're already starting to formulate. We're going to go much more into like the chemical-based skincare. And that's the other thing I want to just, let me add this about all natural too. I know everybody gets like their panties in a bunch about chemicals and blah, 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 but the reality is not all chemicals are bad.
Yes.
So don't get yourself into like this black and white where you're like natural good, chemical bad. Like, no. We live in a world that's like in the middle. Right? Like there are chemicals that we have the technology now to use these chemicals and to have them in a way that's not harmful to our body, and we should.
Yeah.
So don't, get yourself hammed up that just because something is all natural, it's better.
So Jazz, where can people buy all of the amazing products?
Yes, tell where we can find you, stalk you, subscribe with you, everything you're doing. Please tell us.
See my TikTok dances, which are all terrible, by the way, but I'm just doing my best. The company JD Bath Co. spelled like this, JD Bath Co. is all under that exact handle. So Instagram, JD Bath Co. Twitter, JD Bath Co. Facebook, JD Bath Co. The website, jdbathco.com. And then for my new company, the manufacturing leg. So if you're interested in getting started with some skincare manufacturing, you need somebody to go to. My name is Jazmine Duke, JazmineDuke. I can be found at jazmineduke.com or Jazmine Duke on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok. I'm with the kids. I'm on the top.
We're on the top with the youth. We're with the youth. With TikTok. But no, honestly, like it's such a pleasure to always have Jasmine just as a friend, like and as like one of her like honorary sisters. Like Jasmine has really been iconic for us because besides having an amazing sense of humor and being funny as fuck, she's just a boss woman. Like not just like not a girl boss. I mean, she is a boss, and we need to give her flowers today because we have to. But honestly, thank you for being part of So She Slays. Thank you for being with us from the get go. Like that's like
So,
we like you came from the get go.
like
Like our first like
Beginning.
and like we have something amazing coming for you guys by the time this video drops. We have a very, very, very amazing collaboration coming between us that we're super excited to share, which will have more details, of course. But honestly, thank you, Jasmine, for being part of So She Slays family, because you're a family, not just like a guest or like a collab, you're family, a sisterhood. And honestly, please make sure you follow Jazmine Duke for all her amazing tweets, first of all, which I love, and JD Babco because honestly, her products are bomb as fuck, bomb AF. And also, we have to talk about her enterprise, JDE. Okay, so please make sure you follow, subscribe, love, buy, purchase JD Babco with Jazmine Duke.
and until next time, Slay Nation, thank you so much. We'll see you later.